I was clearing out closets the other day when I realized I think I have all the parts needed to make a wireless boombox with these classic early 2000s Harman Kardon speakers, an Apple AirPort Express router, which has the 3.5 millimeter audio output. And to power it all, I can use this Ego inverter. It uses big Ego outdoor power equipment batteries and outputs up to 150 watts, which is more than enough for this project. And I think I can fit it all inside this case that I didn't have another use for. So if I fit everything in here, I'll have a carrying handle top boom box basically that I can take out in the yard for barbecues, take to the beach, take camping, set it up anywhere I want, and should be able to play music from my phone through AirPlay, have it come out of here. Let's see if this works. The best part is I think this is the only thing I actually paid money for, and it was like 20 bucks on Craigslist. Everything else I already had. So hopefully I don't have to spend another dollar. Let's see if that's true. First step is a bench test, and I even found another part lying around, this cute little extension cord splitter that even has a spinning head for the plug, which is going to make it pretty convenient for plugging into the inverter. We'll plug the AirPort Express into there, as well as the speaker power and the speaker audio into the router, other end of the power cord to the router, and the inverter is already up and running. So we should be booting up right now. You can see green lights on the speakers already and waiting on the router to come up. It's got an orange light right now. Once it's green, I'm going to use my laptop, which is off screen, to connect to AirPlay and send audio to here. I can't, of course, use any music clips, or YouTube will cut those out, but I will just play one of my own videos. There's a green light on the AirPort Express, meaning it should be live on the network. So I'll change my laptop audio output to be the AirPlay router. And here we go. Playing a video of my own. Should come out in the speakers. There it is. I wish I had some music to play for you or something like that, but you get chainsaws instead. Good news though, it's coming out loud and clear. I wish that I could transport this thing with the battery installed onto the inverter, but there's just no way that it'll fit. So the best compromise I found so far is I can fit the inverter and the battery in the top side by side, and it'll close that way. So that'll work for me. I'm just going to plan on having the inverter kind of loose up here so that it's easy enough to install the battery and get to the other side and press the power button. And so with the inverter up here, the power cord will go down below into the area underneath this tray. That's where I'll have cords and speakers and such on the router. So I'll start by drilling a big old hole right here for this extension cord to extend down into that area. I'm not normally a big fan of these step drills, but they do have their place. So let's make a big old hole that is extension cord sized. One thing I do like is it makes a nice beveled opening, good for cords passing through. And then I'll just go through with a little effort. Let's give it the same bevel on the other side too. Perfect. I think I have a plan for mounting the router. Let's clean off the top of it so I can put some double stick tape on it. Just a little isopropyl alcohol and good old double stick foam, Scotch in this case, style tape. Kind of a pain to pull off, but I guess I'll leave that as a problem for future Colin. Sorry, future Colin. And I've got a space picked out inside where I should still be able to reach in and press this reset button if I need to, or look in on the other side and see the lighted indicator. So that's going to be right in the center here. The other advantage is that it keeps the router kind of, I don't know, up off the ground, kind of in a central place where it seems like it should have good radio reception. I bet it doesn't actually matter. I could probably put this anywhere, but I don't know, this seems like a good place to mount basically what amounts to an antenna. And then the speakers will fit right underneath it. Use only with Harman Kardon speakers. Do not remove this label. Whatever you do, don't remove it. I've got cords tidied up pretty well, and I think I'm going to use some double stick tape on this transformer as well. The reason being it's kind of heavy and I don't want it flopping around, but it's also perfect for actually creating a mount for the end of the extension cord. So if I just set this in the back here with the extension cord attached, I can basically use the transformer to hold that extension cord right in place. And then that allows this white cord to plug in, let's say down at the bottom, and make its way up to the router. Nice. Okay, for the speakers themselves, this is the one that has the power and the audio input, and then just a line level speaker output for the other one. So it'll sit right here, and the left one will sit right here after being hooked up, of course. And I'll maybe just tilt them out a little bit, you know, for surround sound. And it'll be easy enough just to reach in here and use the controls right here. Yeah, so plug everything together, get out some more double stick tape. There's maybe a fancy way to do this, but I'm just gonna stick them down. Okay, so now we've got all the connections to make on the other speaker. Power over here, that's easy. And audio, maybe underneath. And then this is the cable that has to run up to the router. I'm glad I'm dry running this. Okay, something like that. Oh, is it gonna fit? Oh, just barely. Huh, perfect, I can pull it out just a little bit and then feed this all back in. Here it goes. Okay, come on, symmetry. Yeah, that looks pretty good right there. Okay, speaker-wise, we're in business. Mounted up, I like where they ended up and how everything's fitting in the end. Easy controls right on the front. And I can insert this grill again. That's pretty cool. It's like it was made for this. Which brings us to up top. Not a ton of options up here, really just the inverter plugging into this cable sitting here for it. But one thing about it is I don't love how this fits in. This little handle's kind of in the way. And I thought maybe I could trim some plastic here and maybe it would fit. But the more I look at it, I think even with trimming plastic, it's just not going to be a good fit with that handle unless I remove more than I want to. So I think instead I'm just going to remove this handle and then this will sit down kind of nicely. Perfect. Yeah, handle comes right off. I think this is going to fit a lot better. Oh yeah, that sits down really nicely. And then the battery over here. All right. Well, it's definitely not barbecue weather, but I still want to test this thing out and post this video. So let's give it a go on the back porch here. I got my trusty sidekick, Duck the dog, to help me. So at the top, we'll open it up and install the battery onto the inverter. Then you just got to reach underneath and press the inverter on button. The AirPlay router will be booting up right now. I've also got my my old iPhone 8 I'll use as the AirPlay source, and it's actually plugged into the inverter since it has a couple USB ports on the back. Open up the grill. See the speakers are already on, and the router is booting up. Router showing green, so it should be a valid AirPlay device now. Let's see if we can connect to it on the old iPhone 8. I've got some copyright-free music here that I can play. So we'll switch to AirPlay and Bluetooth devices and select Express Tunes. That's what I've got it named. Let's play some music. Well, it'll be no doubt more fun to use on sunny days, but I am happy with this project. It came together pretty easily, and of course, using stuff I already had is always a bonus. Hopefully this was interesting to anyone watching. See if you can make stuff out of the parts you've got lying around. Thanks for watching.